And I know that New York State will do the right thing and put Kamala Harris and Tim Walz over the top. Because we have that power. We must exercise.
Trump 2024! You a shit governor! You a shit governor! Keep it moving. You a shit governor! You shit governor! Shit governor!
Get out! I gotta watch it, right? Listen. I don't need to convince you to vote for Kamala Harris. She will make it.
You have the right to be here. I do right.
All I'm saying is you can't
Right
with the stick.
then. Then don't get in my face.
You can't.
You a shit governor! You a shit governor!
She is tested. She is ready. She will be a great leader. She will be an amazing president.
Yeah, I watched your dog run away from you after you destroyed the Trump sign.
You asshole, off.
Why the language? It's karma that your dog ran away after you destroyed the Trump sign.
Listen, man, I don't have time for your
Well, apparently...
Go suck your fascist dictators.
Apparently, your dog doesn't have time for you because she ran away the first chance she got, you fat bastard.
Stop it!
Can you explain why you just stole my phone? And then I had to chase your fat ass and get it? Off. You just committed strong-arm robbery after destroying a Trump sign, you fat.
Listen, man, I'm looking for my lost dog. Get lost.
Lost dog? It ran away from you because you destroyed someone else's property and then stole my phone, you idiot.
Officials tonight said Daly College is an ideal location because it's move-in ready and a fraction of the cost of a hotel. But many in the crowd didn't want to hear it.
When do citizens of the United States of America come first?
On the southwest side, city officials getting an earful.
How about this? Give them all these politicians' addresses and put them in their backyards, in their basements, in their houses.
This meeting at Richard J. Daly College comes as the city, starting as early as this weekend, prepares to use this gymnasium until August 1st and 2 auxiliary classrooms on the campus through the end of November to shelter more than 400 migrants.
This is about being human and providing humane spaces for them.
But the debate igniting anger about how the city for decades has treated its poor.
We do not take care of our own people.
There's no resources taken from our shelter system and the housing within our shelter system, as well as outreach agencies who are providing services on the street.
This gathering comes a day after the city council at a heated meeting approved $51 million in emergency migrant funding. That money only expected to last through the end of this month.
You speak very much about the money. It's our money. Every dollar you give is our money.
Good evening, board. My name is Nick Wilson. Something is very wrong in our state and in our country. And while I understand and respect that there are many people in this room with differing opinions and differing opinions across this state and this country, I think one thing we can all agree on is that we are in trouble as a state and country. And the other thing I think we can agree on is that there's nothing more important than our children. Nothing. We are at a critical point in history. And this is about what is what is right, what is moral, what is just. I too am getting phone calls. I'm getting phone calls because I run a nonprofit organization, which is suicide prevention for law enforcement. And I am watching firsthand and being sent things firsthand and seeing things with my own eyes that don't represent the best of our state and our country. And it's not just the educational environment. It is the public safety environment. It is medicine. It is every institution that in the last 3 years have been absolutely deteriorated because of politics. And while I agree with the gentleman that politics shouldn't ever come in between making the right decision, one thing I will say is that politics is too important to allow career politicians to be leading it. And that's why you guys in front of me have been duly elected to lead. And that is what you are doing under President Shaw's leadership. There are people who are demonizing, and this comes from someone that used to work white supremacy organizations as a detective before I medically retired from law enforcement. To see people tie politically Sonia Shaw to hate groups is morally repugnant. I fought white supremacy organizations. I have seen with my own eyes evil. And we're better than this. And we
somebody go from 7 to 8 figures.
Do you know the story about free thinkers and workers and why the school system was created?
No. Well, I think it's kind of had to do like the Rockefellers.
Exactly. John D. Rockefeller created the Education Board in 1903, and he said that he wanted a nation of workers, not free thinkers. The workers are the people who work for the free thinkers, people who come up with their own ideas and then delegate them for a fraction of the money. And then they go and do the work for the free thinkers and make them the big money.
You need to understand that corporations and capitalists want you to work yourself to death. This is their goal. They want you working until you die. They want you working from puberty until death. They have rolled back laws that have protected children from working 40 hours a week, from working until midnight on school nights, from working in dangerous occupations such as meat packing plants. They are now raising the retirement age to 70. They do not care about your health. They do not care about your well-being. They do not care about your need to recover, your need for recreation and free time. They don't care about your need for time with your family. They consider you a mule. You are there to work and make them money, and they will squeeze every hour, every minute of productivity out of you that they possibly can. They are not on your side. And you need to understand this so that you can vote accordingly, because this is what your Republican candidate wants for you.
In 15 seconds, should voters in their 20s plan on having to work until they're 70?
They should plan on their retirement age being increased, yes. We're going to change it to reflect more of what life expectancy should be.
If you don't find this unacceptable, you are not paying attention. We should be angry. They want you to work until you're 70, but they want to take Medicare away from you. They want to take Social Security away from you. Yet, if you work until you're 70, you will be paying into Social Security that you will never see the benefits of. You will be dead long before you are able to retire, because you have never had time in your life to recover and heal and be a human, because you are constantly working. You are a machine to them, a robot. They don't care about your humanity. They do not care about your children, your family, none of that. You need to understand this.
Do y'all see Tim Waltz at the U of M game yesterday? Watch this.
Waiting 60 years to come here.
It's like a religious experience for me.
That is exactly. What's up, man? One coach to another, man. Yeah.
That was fun. It was really fun. You see the narrative that they're pushing out, that everything's just full of joy? Look, this is what America's going to be. We're just going to have a great time. Unfortunately, What most of America is feeling right now is being portrayed by this guy before the U of M today when he saw that Waltz was there.
Get that bitch out of here! Get that bitch out of here! Get out of here!
That's what we're all feeling. We're not joyful about the over 10 million illegal immigrants that have now invaded our country. We're not joyful with the threat of World War III knocking on our door. We're not joyful with the economy, with the interest rates. We're not joyful with the public school systems indoctrinating our kids. We're not joyful. We want common sense and logic. We want an executive at the helm, someone with business experience that's going to bring policy that's going to make America great again.
But India only seems to make time to tearing down the I know something about beating the shear. Any base was dead, it's like a republic. English here, man.
Betrayed by you. Absolute betrayal. Ceasefire now, you coward, traitor.
Ukrainians are dying in this fight every day.
What about the folks dying in Gaza? Do you have anything to say about that?
I'm hoping we will. That is a key piece of this, for which I am also fighting.
Israel.
The war does not make Jews safer.
So why are you not troubled with Hamas terrorists?
I am, but
Wait,
the
you
war
sure don't
does
sound
not,
like it. Killing Hamas makes Israel safer.
Killing 30,000 civilians doesn't make anyone safe. Killing 30,000 civilians, 10,000 children.
I beg you, Senator Romney. I have a little baby, 18-month-old, who's dying right now in Gaza. Senator, please, I have a baby dying in Gaza. Please vote no.
Yeah, Hamas is responsible for killing all those
but
children.
But the civilians aren't.
I know.
The civilians are not.
Hamas kills children. Hamas is an evil organization. I hope Israel destroys Hamas. That's what I hope. And I want to help Israel destroy Hamas.
Children. But what about the children?
What is on your hands? Millions of little girls are going about to defend genocide. Shame on you.
Will you vote no for more money to Israel? Your state has one of the highest poverty states in the whole country.
I'm going to vote yes.
You're going to vote yes. What do you have a little girl who's dying right now?
And I said, just like you're keeping the money for Ukraine here at home where it's needed, we all agree with you. Why do you not do the same for Israel? It's $18 billion that will go to Israel.
We need that money in America.
We need the American
we need that money for
here.
education, for social security.
Because I'm not an anti-Semite. I believe in the right of Israel to defend itself. And I believe in the right of the Jewish people to be safe.
And how about the people of Missouri needing that money, Senator? Senator Holly, people at Missouri need that money.
I wish I had an Israel flag to wave.
I know, but they
What's up? Israel has the right to defend itself.
Can I say something?
Why does Israel defend itself by killing babies?
Can I talk? 1 second. Can I tell you something?
You're an actual war criminal. Have you seen the war crimes that the Israeli soldiers laugh about?
think now that people are beginning to catch their antics on the left, and that people are beginning to say, this is ridiculous, it's going too far, and I'm sick and tired of it?
There's no question.
Okay.
There is a recoil from what has happened, and it's amazing that it's taken this long, but it's happening. You look at the Washington Post, for example. Readership of the liberal Washington Post is down 50% since 2020, right? No one is reading their garbage anymore. And the same thing's going to happen to the New York Times. And, people are realizing that the country has moved too far in the wrong direction. And, on that point, there's something I'd like to add. First of all, for too many decades, the issues that Democrats have been raising have been ignored by Republicans, right? We've allowed large sections of our country to devolve into ghettos, into crime-ridden communities that lack economic opportunity, that don't have the kind of schools they should have, that have liquor stores on every corner, that have high unemployment. And for far too long, Republicans have failed to address that issue. They've taken the position that I'm not my brother's keeper, and that we believe in personal responsibility, and these people are responsible for themselves. And, you shouldn't be using my hard-earned money and tax dollars to be helping someone who is not doing their fair share, is the attitude that they've generally brought to the table. And the problem with that is that we are our brother's keeper, and that we are profoundly interdependent with one another, and that we can't have the kind of life that we want to have while others are suffering in poverty and misery and crime, where they have no sense of hopefulness and aspiration and opportunity, because ultimately those conditions will fester and they'll reach a boiling point. And that has been happening for decades, and we're at that boiling point. And Democrats rightly are raising those issues, and Republicans need to pay attention, and they need to try to help address those issues. But there's a right way to do things, and there's a wrong way to do things. And the right way to do things is to have a reverence for the truth to begin with, right? Don't lie about things. Don't embellish. Don't exaggerate. Don't use isolated instances to make these ridiculous assertions and assumptions. But be realistic, be honest, and work cooperatively to create consensus towards collaboration and solving these problems. These problems need to be solved. It is in everyone's self-interest that we address these issues and that we solve these issues. But there's a right way to do it, and there's a wrong way to do it. And right now, Democrats are pursuing the wrong way to do it. And Republicans aren't doing it at all. And that's the problem.
I am asking you to make your comments, but do not do name calling like you just did.
This is my comment, not your comment. I'm quoting to you now from the United States Supreme Court 1964 case, New York Times versus Sullivan. This is constitutional case law in this country, and I'm quoting you from the U.S. Supreme Court. The judges wrote that this nation is founded on the, quote, profound national commitment to the principle that debate on public issues shall be uninhibited, robust, and wide open, and that it may well include vehement, caustic and sometimes unpleasantly sharp attacks on government and public officials. That's constitutional case law in this nation. I don't have to be nice to you. Nobody behind me has to be nice to you. If you don't like living in the United States of America, then you can all move to Russia, Cuba, or China. This is the First Amendment. And I will caution you, solicitor. There is a video camera to my left. If you edit this tape, then you're going to have a big legal problem on your hands, because my right to critique your fascism, which is what this is constitutionally protected. There are emails, public record emails, in which the Director of Equity is lobbying and advocating for public comment to be censored in this school district. And you know what? You know what? Lobbying for it, advocating for it. We've got the school board president saying she'll do better at hitting the mute button in blatant violation of the Constitution. For her lobbying and her advocacy of unconstitutional censorship, I want you, the school board, to terminate the employment of Dr. Charissa Gibson with immediate effect. And after you've terminated her employment, I want all of you to tender your resignations for hating on this country. We have a God-given constitutional right to critique you, and we can speak in any lawful tone that we see fit. And don't go looking around, Benito, because this is the United States of America. You have a good... one more thing. I want to make a verbal request right now for an unedited copy of the tape. So if any of you delete it, you're going to have a big legal problem. Good night.
You want to suppress my right to free speech? Fuck you, John Barr. Fuck you, Randy Wagner. Fuck you, Kid Killer Klein. And you bow tie wearing. I will not follow any of your ordinance. I will wipe my ass with it like you wipe your with our Constitution and our